Today, I'm going to show you the best way to store celery and how to keep celery fresh longer so that you don't waste any of this. I'm Jamie with SavorySaver. I share gluten-free recipes, tips, tricks, and resources to make your gluten-free lifestyle easier. So let's get on with the tips. Tip number 1, ditch the plastic bag. When you bring celery home, sometimes it's in a plastic bag. Other times it's just a head of celery, but you might put it in a plastic bag to get it home. Once you get it home, get it out of the plastic. Produce gives off ethylene gas, and it makes the produce spoil faster. So the plastic keeps all of that ethylene gas in here and will make this go limp faster. And that's when you don't want to eat it. So getting rid of this takes care of that problem. Once you get rid of it though, you still have to put it in something. And the best thing to store it in is aluminum foil. So get a big piece of aluminum foil, put your celery on it, wrap it around the other way, then fold the top and the bottom over it. Once you've gone through the entire head of celery, recycle the aluminum foil and get a new piece for your next head of celery. The aluminum foil will allow the ethylene gas to go out of the celery into the fridge as opposed to containing it all in that plastic bag. And that's going to help this last longer. Tip number 2. Sometimes a piece falls off and is no longer attached to the actual base of the celery. Or maybe you cut some up for celery sticks for a snack to take to work. The best way to keep celery at that point is to get a paper towel, wet it, wring it out so it's slightly damp, take your celery pieces, wrap them in that paper towel and put them in a Ziploc bag. They'll last longer because there's some moisture in there that's going to keep them fresh. Just make sure that you use these first before you go back to your head of celery. That's going to keep it fresh until you can eat it the next day or for snack at work or whatever the case may be. Tip number 3, what to do when your celery goes limp. I think we've all taken a head of this out of the fridge and half of it flops over. At that point, it's usually towards the end of its life, but that doesn't mean it's gone bad. When it does that, celery is like any other plant. Maybe you did the experiment where you dyed some water and then put it in the celery, put the celery in the dyed water and then checked it a few hours later and the dye had moved up into the plant. Same concept. If you have limp celery, get a glass, fill it about halfway full with water, cut your celery off the base, put it in the glass of water and pop it in the fridge. Give it a few hours, that celery is going to firm back up so you can use it again. Once it's at that stage, it's probably not going to be best for celery sticks the next day or just a snack on. You're probably going to want to use it for something like soup because you're still going to get that flavor, but ultimately it's not as crisp as when you first brought it home. But it'll revive it enough so you can use it in that soup or that recipe so you don't waste any of it. Guys, I hope those 3 tips help you in making sure you're getting through all of your celery and not wasting any. One thing we want to do when we're cooking and when we have food at home is waste is a huge problem sometimes, and we want to use everything that we can. So I hope this helps save a little bit of money for you. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give me a like, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks guys.